While I was there meeting and talking with other financial advisors, you talk with your peers about things that you're going through or your clients are going through. And many of us have people, as I've discussed on the podcast, who are going through what I call the white collar recession. And now, as a result of the recent government shutdown, several of us had clients who are either in government or connected to government in their roles, who are either furloughed or are essential and are being asked to work for free, even though they will get that money back eventually. If you're somebody who's been a part of these big layoffs, you're not getting your money back. And what the common theme was, we have people that we feel we've counseled well and who have saved well. They've done all they can do. They've done the 6 months expenses. They've done the year's expenses, but they have been without a job for 6 months. They've been without a job for a year. And no matter how good their planning has gone, they've reached the point where they are at the end of their emergency reserves. And to me, this is where I think there's a big shortfall in financial advice. If you look online, you see a lot of here's what you should do to prepare for an emergency, or here's the rule of thumb, here's how much you should budget, here's how much you should put aside. But there's not a lot of advice of like break glass in case of emergency level when it comes to what you should do with your money. So in this episode, I wanted to give some information, give some advice, give some options for what you can do when, in spite of your best efforts, you've reached the point where you're just at the end of your available resources and you're wondering what else can be cut. This episode is for you. Now, before I get into some of these tips, I want to give a number of caveats. The first is these are not recommendations. These are simply options that you can consider, and you want to make sure that in your particular situation, you evaluate whether or not it's a fit for you. The second is there are varying levels of extremity, right? These are not just all on a level 1 or a level 5. Some of these are on a level 10. Some of them are on a level 2. So again, you want to make sure that you evaluate how relevant it is to your particular circumstance. The next caveat is these are not in order. This is not like step 1, do this, step 2, do that. It is truly just kind of a listing of some things that I have counseled people on who find themselves in a similar situation. And if it is of any relief, this is a wide range of people who I've seen in this circumstance. This doesn't just happen to people who are low income earners who didn't put money aside. We're having these conversations with people who are in the multi six figures, who have just been in a tough situation for a very long period of time, who saved well. But even in those situations, you're not always up. And sometimes the emergency part of the emergency reserves can be stretched to its limit. If that is of any help in your current situation, I hope that you can lean on that for comfort. So let's get into some of the things that I have seen be helpful, even as a pause or a delay until your circumstances improve.